One of the best parts of video games is getting to play as ridiculously overpowered characters who are nigh unstoppable. They can fight gods, monsters, machines, and other cosmic beings. They prove a challenge to game writers to make their story hit important narrative points, all while making the player feel challenged and at the same time unstoppable. Feeling like you could lose and not be able to lose at the same time is a challenge that few games succeed on. These characters push the upper boundaries of abilities and power levels, and yet exist in some cases in critically acclaimed games, beloved by gamers. This list included protagonists only, so no side characters, villains, or vague cosmic entities included. Some other rules. These characters must have originated in gaming, so characters who have been in games like Superman or Saitama aren't on this list. For more lists like these and other regular gaming news and entertainment, make sure to follow Game Infinite on social media. Prior to playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, I didn't know much about the Final Fantasy multiverse, and wouldn't know Cloud was anything more than a guy with a big sword. The fact that Cloud is an unarmored hero with a sword, fighting in a modern-day environment and repeatedly faces enemy types with armor and guns, really showcases his power. He is durable enough to take shots from weapons fire, fast enough to block bullets with his sword, and strong enough to wield an impossibly large sword hard enough to damage heavy tank-class robotics. While not appearing so, he is one of the strongest characters in gaming, capable of defeating massive and powerful and even magical foes with nothing but a sword. On a list of most powerful characters, all of whom have some type of magic or immortality or other MacGuffin giving them an edge, seeing a super soldier grounding in science fiction instead of fantasy crack the top 10 is impressive. Even Cloud has some magic. Master Chief has none. Existing in a purely science fiction universe, Master Chief pulls off feats on an order of magnitude than he should be able to. He has survived multiple falls from orbit, point-blank nuclear explosions, massive energy blasts of ancient alien origin, and more. He is incredibly strong, able to lift a future miliary tank. His offensive abilities may be more commonplace, comprising mostly of small arms fire and throwables, and probably wouldn't be able to kill most of the characters on this list. But his durability is so next level, he secures a spot on this list. The main character in KOA is known only as the Fateless one, because they cheat death in the beginning of the game, therefore getting the supernatural ability to cheat fate. They have no fate except that which they make for themselves. While on the surface this may not seem too powerful, but they literally have the ability to kill characters that fate itself wishes to keep alive. Being beyond fate is an ability to break the fourth wall and overpower plot armor itself. In addition to being able to wield the strands of fate, the Fateless one has the ability to wield powerful magic and is trained to fight with almost any weapon type. The Fateless one is essentially a magical Master Chief with the power to warp the fabric of reality. The only reason I don't rank the Fateless one higher on this list is we just don't get to see the full scope of their power in game. They are incredibly powerful, but their feats are mainly against traditional fantasy foes. 2B is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful female characters in gaming. She accomplished this by being a nigh-immortal android. When she falls in combat, her android consciousness is transmitted to another android body, and she can even repair and resurrect her falled body to fight alongside her temporarily. Thanks to this robotic form of immortality, she may not be able to be stopped, but only slowed down. She fights in such a fluidic dance of combat that is almost memorizing in its choreography. She is equipped with two massive swords that fly around her in a telekinetic swarm that moves at lightning speeds. She also has a floating machine that will blast a high-repeating plasma. Immortality, speed, and deadly offense make her an easy choice for the list. Galen Marek, aka Starkiller from The Force Unleashed, is one of my favorite and most badass characters in gaming. He is my favorite Star Wars gaming character, and one of the most powerful telekinetics on this list. He is more than just a Jedi. He is a Jedi wrecking ball. He is so powerful with the Force, his incredibly destructive lightsabers seem like accessories. Some of his feats include completely incinerating an army of stormtroops with just a telekinetic blast, defeating massive Kajui-level monsters, and in one of the most impressive moments in Star Wars, telekinetically grabbing and crashing a Star Destroyer. Starkiller is a perfect example of the best defense being a good offense, in one of the most deadly characters in gaming. Starkiller has a similar advantage to 2B in an alternate form of immortality thanks to uniquely being able to be successfully cloned. In the Star Wars universe, it is near impossible to clone Force-sensitive beings. This is probably for no other reason other than to answer the question of why they don't clone army of Jedi if Jedi are so powerful. If a Jedi could face down an army of cloned Mandalorians, it would make sense to clone an army of Jedi. Even in the most recent Rise of Skywalker, it took advanced decades-later technology, Sith magic, and dark side force combined to make imperfect clones of Palpatine that degrade. However, Starkiller not only is one of the most powerful Jedi ever, he is able to be cloned successfully, with no negative side effects. He is able to reach full maturity in a tiny fraction of the time it took the Kamino clones to as well. Also, his memories are able to somehow potentially transfer to his clone. If someone does manage to defeat him, he could be resurrected easily. No power list is quite complete without Kratos. Kratos is the gold standard for developers to look to how to create an amazing game when your hero is that massively powerful. Kratos is most known for slaying the entire pantheon of Greek gods, from Zeus, Ares, and even the massive titan Kronos. Kronos is so large he could squish, or try to, a tiny Kratos in his fingertips. He is nigh immortal and carries deadly magical weapons like his Blades of Chaos or his more modern axe. There are only 4 other characters in all of gaming who I think could have a chance to defeat Kratos. We are talking a power tier so high that he actually proves a challenge to fun gameplay. Kratos proves to be without equal in his own universe. Coming in at 4 on this list is the most powerful all-human character, Dante, from Dante's Inferno. While Dante's Inferno is not everyone's favorite, as it was overshadowed by other games of the era, with God of War taking more of the spotlight, I vastly enjoyed this game. Everything about the setting, combat, and story were just amazing. I desperately want a sequel, reboot, or remake. While the rest of this list is composed of gods, super soldiers, androids, demigods, Nephilim, and other otherworldly beings, Dante is just human. He is not an alien, or a demigod, or magical creature. He is just a man. He was a crusader during the Middle Ages. However, his first feat is defeating death by slaying the Grim Reaper itself. Armed with the scythe of the personification of death itself, Dante becomes one of the most powerful characters in gaming. His feats include slaying his way through the entire armies of hell, able to kill otherwise immortal demons. Armed with the personification of death, we see him slay unplayable foes. We see him face down the ultimate villain in Lucifer himself and win. If that weren't enough, he is armed with all types of magical offensive attacks and a magical projectile weapon, a cross that blasts divine energy. While a controversial opinion, I think Dante could potentially even defeat Kratos. There is an arguable difference in power level sources. The Greek gods and Greek god magic come from a pantheon instead of a monotheistic universe. In the Dante's Inferno universe, characters like the protagonist and the villain hold entire focal points of magical power instead of having it being spread out over a pantheon of gods. The Death Scythe in the Dante's universe should be an order of magnitude more powerful than anything found in the Greek mythology of the God of War universe. We see Dante frequently best characters who I think would challenge Kratos. The top 3 on this list start to approach that rule about no vague cosmic beings as they maintain a corporeal form and personality while still being almost cosmic in power levels. War is from the Darksiders Universe, where I propose one of the strongest gaming characters in gaming is. I considered having Dante over War, but upon consideration, had War take the top. He is not angel or demon. He is a horseman of the apocalypse, the cosmic force that ushers in end of cosmic balance. He is the personification of war itself. He is not named after war. He is war. Dante only ever bests demons, while war is more powerful than demons and angels combined. All the conflict and war in the cosmos fuels him. Imagine a gaming protagonist so powerful that the forces of heaven and hell fear him. He is also massively tall in his normal form, able to tower twice over a human and pick them up by their head with ease. He is so powerful, picking up a human is a simple one-handed task. His sword is a massive blade capable of slaying towering foes. His ultimate form is a flaming monster the size of a small building. He carries magical weapons and sports a long list of magical abilities. He slays the Darksiders equivalent to an ultimate evil role in killing multiple massive and S-tier powerful demonic villains. The horsemen of the apocalypse are nigh immortal and invincible. I once heard a YouTuber describe Asura from Asura's Wrath as an anime Kratos, and I think that's fair. He's similar in being a demigod slaying the gods of the universe he is in. However, this game tackles the subgenre of pantheon slaying to ridiculous anime levels of destruction. The feats portrayed in Asura's Wrath make even the god-slaying journey of Kratos look tame by comparison. I considered placing War above Asura, as War is a cosmic-level being while Asura is still just a demigod in a pantheon, as there should be a power level difference there. However, I just can't ignore the feats produced by Asura. He has the cosmic level power of War, but the brutality of Kratos. Asura punches the fingertip of a being larger than a planet and wins. Okay, hear me out. Kirby certainly may not look like the most powerful character in gaming, but mine is not the first most powerful list to feature him or even have him top out. Kirby's powers haven't really been detailed too much by Nintendo, but his ability to absorb pretty much anyone and take their powers make him one of the most powerful beings in gaming. His presence in the Super Smash Bros. Shows he is able to absorb the abilities of characters from very different and less cartoon universes. Some incredibly powerful characters like Cloud, Bayonetta, and Sephiroth can be swallowed and absorbed by Kirby. I see no reason why he could not theoretically defeat any character on this list. He is a cosmic-level entity that has been theorized by fans to contain a black hole or an entire universe inside him. When the entire Nintendo JAO Super Smash Bros. Universe was defeated and Thanos snapped to oblivion, Kirby was the sole survivor. He has never been shown to have a weakness, and his limitless ability to inhale and absorb any character in existence, gain their powers, all give him a seemingly Saitama level of OP. This immortal cosmic pink ball of death is, in my opinion, the most powerful character in gaming. Asura can punch a planet, Kirby could swallow it. I just want to see Kratos in SSBU so we can see Kirby wielding little blades of chaos and have a little red face tattoo.